Love gave him the strength his body no longer had. Doctors said he would never stand again. But on his wedding day, he proved them wrong, for her. Love is a drug. One that can give us strength when our bodies fail. And courage when the impossible becomes the only option. Kevin knew that better than anyone. Because for months, in complete silence, he trained his broken body for one single moment. A moment that would change his wedding day forever. Kevin's life was never easy. 13 years ago, everything changed when he suffered a severe leg injury that later developed into reflex sympathetic dystrophy, RSD, a rare and devastating nervous disorder. The pain was unbearable. The treatments were endless. And eventually, the doctors delivered the verdict Kevin feared most. They could not save his legs. From that moment on, Kevin would live his life in a wheelchair. Hospital visits every 2 months. Constant pain. And a condition so rare that even doctors struggled to treat it. But Kevin never allowed bitterness to win. He smiled. He adapted. He chose gratitude over anger. "I'm still alive," he would say. "And that's enough." Everything changed the day Kevin met Kim. What started as a simple meeting quickly turned into love at first sight. Kim didn't see a wheelchair. She didn't see limitations. She saw a man. "A body doesn't define a person," Kim said. "The soul weighs more than any missing part." Kevin often said that when Kim looked at him, it felt like the wheelchair didn't even exist. "This is not an obstacle," he explained. "She loves me for who I am." A few months later, they made a decision that surprised no one who knew them. They were getting married. The wedding was carefully planned. Every detail. Every flower. Every promise. But Kim didn't know one thing. Kevin was hiding a secret. Behind her back, not out of deception, but out of love. Kevin had started physical therapy again. Painful sessions. Endless hours. Training with leg prosthetics that pushed his body beyond its limits. He had one goal. One moment. He wanted to stand. Not forever. Not for the world. Just for her. The wedding day arrived. Kim walked down the aisle, glowing, emotional, in love. Kevin waited at the altar, smiling as always. Then the priest spoke. "Please rise." And Kevin did. Slowly. Carefully. With every ounce of strength his body had left. Kim froze. Tears filled her eyes as she realized what was happening. The man she loved, the man who never complained, was standing for her. She broke down in tears. They embraced, surrounded by love, applause, and disbelief. Kevin later said, "I wanted my wedding day to be the best day of my life." And it was. As the music softened and the priest smiled, the room remained completely silent. No one moved. No one breathed. All eyes were on Kevin. On the man who had been told for years that standing was impossible. On the man who had learned to live without something most people take for granted. On the man who never once let bitterness replace gratitude. Kevin took a deep breath. Then another. Slowly, carefully, with a strength built from pain, discipline, and love. He stood up. Kim's hands flew to her mouth. Her eyes filled instantly with tears. For a second, she thought she was dreaming. But then Kevin took one step. Then another. Not perfectly. Not effortlessly. But proudly. And in that moment, nothing else mattered. Not the wheelchair. Not the years of hospitals. Not the doctors who said it couldn't be done. Only love. Kevin reached her, trembling but smiling, and took her hands. "I wanted to stand for you," he whispered. "Just once. On the day you became my wife." Kim collapsed into his arms, crying openly now, holding him like she never wanted to let go. The guests rose to their feet in applause. Some cried. Some prayed. Some simply watched in awe. Because they weren't witnessing a miracle of medicine. They were witnessing a miracle of will. A reminder that love doesn't fix everything. But it gives you the strength to face anything. Kevin later returned to his wheelchair, exhausted but fulfilled. And he smiled the entire time. Because standing wasn't the point. Love was. Years later, Kevin would still face pain. Still attend treatments. Still live with limitations. But every single day, he lived with purpose. And Kim never once saw the wheelchair. She saw the man. The heart. The soul. The one who proved that sometimes, the strongest people are the ones who never stop loving, even when life tries to break them. Love doesn't need perfection. It needs commitment. Would you stand beside someone you love, no matter the circumstances? Tell us in the comments. Share this story with someone who believes in real love. Backhand index pointing right. Follow the page for more real-life stories that restore faith in humanity.